Hello, everybody, and welcome back once again to another edition of the Hey, Are You Still There podcast. This is episode 102, and this time, I am not alone. I am with...
Beth.
Beth is back.
Mike and Beth. We're back.
Beth, you're coming in with a little flat energy today.
I didn't mean to. I'm like, Mike and Beth, we're back.
Well, where you been?
Working. Just do it. Well, we just have a lot going on. I mean, with the new job, travel... Jacob moving back home, Maria moving out. Like, we've just had a lot going on. There's a lot of moving parts happening right now in our life.
Okay.
It's busy.
Yeah, well, you left me all by myself to do the podcast last week.
I didn't mean to.
And then you got mad at me because I did it by myself.
Well, not really. You just didn't talk to me about it. And then it just appeared. And I was like, oh, what did he even talk about? What did you talk about?
You've had a week to listen to it. You could have listened to it. It was only 30 minutes long.
I don't listen to these. This is like, we had this whole discussion too after people made comments on some things. It's like, I can't go back and listen because if I find factual inaccuracies or I hear my voice and don't like how I say something or whatever, it stresses me out. So I can't listen.
We don't need another panda bear incident.
That's right. Koala
bear. Is that what it was?
Yeah, but it's not technically a bear, but we call them koala bears. I had a stuffed koala bear when I was in elementary school.
So going back to episode 100, you were naming off bears and you mentioned koala bear.
Because I was just doing, you know how you do that brain, like if you were playing games, which it would have been called out if we were doing one of those word association games. You know the kind I'm talking about?
See?
You'd be like, oh, panda bear, koala bear. Oh, yeah. Then somebody'd be like, koala's not a bear. And I'd be like, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, we had a couple of listeners chime in about that.
Yeah, because they're marsupials.
Busybody know-it-alls wanted to chime in and be like, well, actually, and they pushed their glasses up, like
They
nerds.
were like, they had, because their glasses had slid down their nose. Were they smoking pipes when they did it?
Please. No.
So it's like they're
not even distinguished enough to
smoke a pipe and put their glasses up on their nose.
Yeah, but that offended you.
It didn't offend me. I'm just saying, but
that upset you that people called you out.
No, it didn't. What I'm saying is, though, that's why I don't like to listen, though, because we just yap. And so who knows what we're going to say or what I'm going to say. And so if I just forget what I say, I'm happier. But the problem with the just forgetting what I say is then I talk to people and they're like bringing up something like, oh, well, what about this that Mike did? And I'm like, how do you know that? And then they're like, oh, you talked about it on the podcast.
I mean, I like to think this podcast is 100% nonsense.
Yeah, well.
We try to give some good life advice. As we say, Hey, Are You Still There? Is an examination of life at the intersection of marriage, family, careers, and ministry.
Yes.
And we do delve into those. We give life advice because we're old and we've experienced all those things.
Every once in a while, we have something wise to say.
Yes.
But it's kind of rare. It's really sprinkled in. It's like, what do they call it in the movies? Easter eggs.
Yes.
Our, really thoughtful, meaningful things are Easter eggs. That's what we should do. We should have people go find the Easter egg. Find the time that Mike and Beth actually said something useful.
Yeah. Well, we have a new listener, and they asked, they're getting ready to do a big road trip to Florida, or so I don't even know where they're at. But they said they wanted to catch up on some pods. And so they said, can you give us your top 10 episodes that I should listen to? Yeah. I don't even know how we even come up with that. Because
definitely not the first one.
No, not the first one. Because what people like are all different. Everything is different.
Well, I just asked you that the other day. I said, hey, well, what's our most popular podcast themes or whatever?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm just throwing this out there. But let's say there's one on travel or some people have been like, oh, do one on credit card hacking or something. Well, I could do that. And some people would be thrilled with that. But then we've had some listeners say, yeah, I don't listen to your travel ones. They don't care about those. But then I feel like the travel one sometimes pulling people that don't normally listen. So anyway, but I have no idea I think the 100th episode would be a good one to listen to, maybe.
The 100th one is good. It got a lot of play. And so
that one only stands out because I recently did it. That's the other reason. If somebody's like, what else have you done? I'd be like, I remember we interviewed our kids one time. We interviewed James. I mean, I remember the travel ones, but I don't remember the content.
Well, here are our top 4.
Oh,
most
okay.
downloaded episodes.
Okay.
If someone wants to go back and listen.
Yes.
It's funny you talked about the travel one. Our number one most downloaded episode is the travel episode on Antigua and Hawksbill Resort.
Interesting.
Number one.
Yeah.
I should send that to Hawksbill and see if we can get a free night or two.
Yeah, screenshot it and be like, or do what you said that one time when we were talking about how people can like advertise anything. We're the number one podcast about marriage in southern Vietnam
Yeah.
or something like that.
Occasionally we'll get those. We'll
Yeah.
get some random email that'll be, currently.
In Malaysia,
Yeah.
you're the number one on parenting or something. And so you should send those out because that's going to make the local sponsors, they're going to be like drooling over that. Like, because, all the people in Kernersville will be like, oh my gosh, we've really got to capture that market of listeners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So travel episode, Antigua, Hawksbill is number one.
Okay.
Most downloaded episode ever. Number two is The Bee is Back.
Oh.
Portland and Would You Rather.
Oh, I do remember that was when but what did we talk about besides, I don't remember. Would you rather?
You went away to
Yeah.
Portland, came back, totally trashed the city.
Sorry, Portland.
And maybe that's what people like about it. They're agreeing. And the Would You Rathers, I went through and gave you a whole bunch of Would You Rathers,
Yeah.
and you knocked that out. So
Oh,
for
yeah.
whatever reason, the bee is back.
Okay.
Bee meaning
Yes,
Beth.
Mm-hmm.
That's number two. Number three, Down the Rabbit Hole, Biltmore and Conspiracy Theories.
Now, is that one you did on your own?
No,
That has
we
to
talked
be.
about going to Biltmore, I think, and then we
And then
dove
talked about
into some conspiracy theory
Oh,
stuff.
okay.
That's number three. And number four, Don't Call Me Daughter, Pearl Jam and Car Accidents.
What was that one
I
about?
think that was talking about our journey to a Pearl Jam concerts and then when Maria totaled her car.
Oh, well, why don't we just talk about which of our kids? We're keeping local body shops in business. We're probably sending multiple of their kids off to school and paying for things, just like we kept the orthodontist in business. Like
Josh
yeah.
just had his first car accident
Yeah.
this weekend.
Yeah, backed into a
He
tree.
backed into a tree.
Mm-hmm. I will say the fringe yard that he's in is tight.
It's terrible.
It's really hard
Awful.
to like to maneuver because you can't back into they're on a busier street, so you can't like back into the driveway, and it's a really tight driveway, so you don't want to back in front of a car. So
Yeah.
I'd rather him back the corner of his car into a tree than the alternative. But I do think, again, this is why we try to get safe cars, but we buy very old, cheap cars for our
Beers.
kids because
This is a 2013 Subaru Outback with
Yeah.
about 180,000 miles.
that you
And
routinely have to fill with oil
It takes
because
oil
it drinks
a
oil.
lot.
Yeah.
Yes, it uses a
Yeah.
lot of oil. It doesn't leak oil. It uses oil.
It also has, I like that it has very little power. So
power.
like you can't,
It's a
you
four-cylinder.
can't really speed.
He doesn't speed in it.
He can't. He would have to be on the highway a long time.
He
pedal
hit that
to the
tree at a
metal.
half a mile an hour.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So here we go. Sometimes we get asked about locations.
Yes.
We have listeners in 98 countries.
Okay, I still don't know if I
Who will
believe
be
that.
number 100? That's going to be nuts.
I know, but is this some type of like VPN or something? Like, because none of these listeners reach out. Well, actually, I will say, like when we were in Czech and some places like that, some of those people did talk to us. So I know they listened and shared it. So I do know some people from other countries.
Well, our newest
reach out.
country number 98, Kuala Lumpur.
I don't even know I didn't know that was a country.
I know, crazy, right? Somebody there tuned in and listened to Vienna Waits for You. Mike and Beth go to Austria.
Oh.
So somebody from Kuala, I don't even know if I'm saying that right.
How do you
Kuala
spell
Lumpur.
that? Like, where is
Kuala
Uh-huh.
Lumpur.
Oh, okay. It's coming up it's Malaysia. Didn't I just say
You just
something?
said
Didn't I just
Malaysia.
say somebody
Yes.
in Malaysia? Like we're the number, I was making it up. We're not really. But like when I was like, we're the number one podcast for families or whatever.
Yeah.
in Malaysia.
Yeah. So Kuala Lumpur, somebody wants to go to Vienna, Austria, and they listen to our podcast on it.
Hey, and we love you. So go ahead and like correct us on how to say your name.
That
like
may be
right
the
way.
only
Yeah.
one that they ever listen to. Though.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. So out of the countries, number one, coming in at 79% of our listeners come from the U.S.
Okay.
That's
not surprising.
That's not surprising.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Number two, Japan.
Okay. I will say Japan, did we talk about this on the podcast? How somehow it has become like a number one vacation destination for like our young adult children's age. I'd had this conversation with like Jess Church Bird and some other people because she was talking about all the people she works with that are going to Japan, all the travel hacking sites. Everybody's always going to Japan. It's been top of Maria's list forever. And I don't know, I don't mean it in a bad way, but I don't know why. Now, Maria's interested because they have Tokyo Disney and then they also have a Universal Park. And then she just thinks she would love Japan. Josh is fascinated with China, but I'm like, what did these countries do to like capture this market? Because all these, I mean, I do feel like that age.
They did well on the TikTok.
I guess so. Yeah.
Tourism of Japan, whoever's in charge of that, must have went all in on TikTok and it grabbed this young generation and now they all want to go there.
I really want to go. Well, I want to go everywhere, but I want to go to Japan too.
I have no desire.
Oh, I would love to.
If I could warp there, I would. I just don't
It's the long flight.
The long flight. I can't do it.
And see, that's why I want to go to Australia, New Zealand, places like that so badly. But the long flight and the time zone, I just have to be like semi-retired or something, I think, to be able to take a long enough time off because the other thing is adjusting to the time zones and stuff. It's not, you fly over there and you're exhausted, then you have to adjust. But I would love to go. I think, though, like many places, I would want to see a city and stuff. But as we've experienced, so many cities just feel the same these days. Like, you know, any place in the world, just dump it and it's the same city. So I would love to see the countryside because I remember I read this book when I was a kid about this little girl that lived in Japan and it talked about all these things. And I just remember being like, oh, I want to go there one day. It sounds really cool.
They're number 2 on our listeners. Number 3 is Canada.
Interesting. Okay. I want to go back to explore some of Canada because I've only seen little bits like the Niagara Falls side. And was it?
I know I shared this fact with Josh. I don't know if I'll share it with you now. I think I probably did. But I'll share it too, though. I found out that 90% of the population of Canada lives within 100 miles of the U.S. border.
Because it's so cold and stuff.
Yeah.
And stuff.
So, I mean,
and really harsh, I guess.
Canadians can say what they want, but they want to be.
They want to be
They
close
really
to
want to
us.
be close to us.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
They love us.
Yeah.
They're like, we want to get as close as we can without actually being there.
Yeah, they want to get close enough to experience the joys of the U.S., but be able to criticize us too.
But also be able to escape some of the crazy.
Yes.
Yeah, be like, I can go back over the border and like,
That's right.
It's kind of like a grandparent with the
Yes,
grandkid.
that's exactly what it
the
is.
Canadians are like, yeah, I'm going to be close enough to the U.S. that I can go play with the grandbaby, have fun, enjoy those parts, but I can give it back when I don't like
head back over to Montreal and be like, that's not my country.
Be like, those people, they're misbehaving.
So Canada. Number 4, Singapore.
Nice. Very nice.
Number 5, Germany. And this is, we pretty much have a tie for really 4, 5, 6, 7 is all really close.
Right. And that's, is that Singapore?
So
and
Singapore's 4, Germany's 5, the UK is 6, and Vietnam is 7.
Oh, interesting.
We have a lot of that.
They're very spread out, different
but
from each
Asian, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like Eastern
yeah.
world type
Yeah.
listeners over there
Yeah.
between Japan, Singapore, and Vietnam.
And that's an area of the world I haven't explored. So maybe if we can ever travel there and do a travel podcast, then we will just take off. We'll just explode.
Yeah.
And maybe some of these people will host us and send us some good ideas of things to do.
Let's just
when
finish
we
out the top
visit.
10.
Okay.
Number 8 is Brazil.
Oh, nice.
Number
I've never been
9
there
is
either.
Spain.
Oh, nice. Love Spain.
And number 10, Australia.
Oh, gosh. Dream place. Because they do have like the 100 most dangerous animals in the world, most extinct species. Like, I mean, Australia, they are always having some crazy stuff coming out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that's pretty fascinating.
Yeah. So we had a review. I'm going to read this because I thought this was a really sweet review that we
Okay.
got.
Let's hear it.
This came from a loyal listener. She wrote, Mike and Beth's podcast, Hey, Are You Still There? Resonates as a modern day I Love Lucy
Ooh.
with
Am I
heartwarming
Lucy?
messages. Maybe I'm Lucy.
Okay.
Their playful, humorous banter as husband and wife makes everyday topics feel relatable and entertaining, while also offering thoughtful reflections on love, family, friendship, and giving back to the community.
That's those Easter eggs we were talking about. Yeah.
That's probably the episodes you're not on.
Oh.
Those are the ones that thrive in that area.
Uh-huh.
What stands out most is the mutual respect, honest communication, and self-reflection they bring to each conversation. Qualities that shine through as the foundation of a long-standing loving relationship.
Oh, that's so sweet.
That just proves you can fake anything in media.
I'm like, can we read that to Josh? When Josh is like saying stuff about us or whatever, our teenager, we'll read that. We'll be like, look, this is what people say about our wisdom and all of that. Yeah.
Yeah. So we want to thank that loyal listener. That was
Yes.
a beautiful,
That is
beautiful
really, really
review.
Yes. And very thoughtful.
They said they tried to give us a 5-star review on some podcast site, but they didn't know if they did it correctly. So
We'll take it.
hopefully they
Keep
did.
trying. Everybody else, you keep doing it too. You need to you guys that say you listen all the time and that you love us, I want more of that.
We need reviews.
Yeah. Because we were explaining, one of our friends was asking, we'll call her Sue, about like, I think like if those things help us, monetize this. They don't, but they do help. Like when people are looking for podcasts, just like anything else, like if they see 5-star reviews or if you have more comments, it helps, I think, with the algorithm that gets us noticed. And
It does. It helps with the algorithm stuff. It helps
us.
us also when we try to market it.
Yeah, get sponsors.
We're trying to get sponsors.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of...
We're trying to make this, we're not even trying to make this a money-making endeavor. We're just trying to make it a break-even
I just want it to break even.
Yeah, exactly. And no more like paying because if for people like, yes, we bought our little fancy microphone we're looking at, but we have to pay for like a service to like help upload it and get it on all the different podcast places and all that stuff. Yeah.
I had another conversation with a loyal listener this week, and I'm going to start off by sharing a story I read many years ago.
Uh-huh.
And it was the taste test between Coke and Pepsi.
Mm-hmm.
As this person was telling me this, and they were just saying it just in general, just like a passing word, I thought it dawned on me, you're Pepsi and I'm Coke.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if that's like a compliment. Now, Pepsi is the taste of the Carolinas, but a lot of people don't like Pepsi. So you're hurting my feelings.
So way back in the day, Pepsi did a very famous commercial run where they, did a blind taste test and gave everybody, literally like, taste this, which one do you prefer? They did commercial after commercial about it. 4 out of 5 people choose Pepsi.
Yeah.
And it got everybody all up in arms, especially people that loved Coca-Cola, which has been around. I think Moses drank Coca-Cola.
Actually not, because when I was in Atlanta, I went to the Coca-Cola Museum, so I've got some good facts on Coca-Cola. Oh, that's just what they tell us?
They tell you. That's just the history they want you to believe.
So back then, that was kind of when Moses needed to hold up his arms. Before they came and held up his arms,
he was holding Coke bottles.
He was doing Coca-Cola to like get his energy up. Okay.
Come on, Beth. You know that they've rewritten all of history. We've gone through this.
Are you saying like with the manna and stuff, there was Coca-Cola provided to you in the desert? Anyway, keep going.
But this became a big thing because everyone chose Pepsi.
Yeah.
So the Coke people went crazy. They tried doing new Coke.
Yeah.
That was their response to it.
That was a bomb because it lost all its like spiciness or whatever you'd call it. Yeah.
Well, finally, somebody had the brains to realize that what if we gave them an entire can of Coke, an entire can of Pepsi? Would the taste test be the same?
Uh-huh.
And so Coke did their own with that. Just kind of off, like not advertising it, just kind of their own. And when they did that, the numbers completely reversed.
Is it because Pepsi's sweet and great at first,
yes.
but then too sweet later on?
That's exactly what it is.
Term?
4 out of 5 people preferred an entire can of Coke to an entire can of Pepsi. Pepsi has that initial sweeter taste, and Coke tastes a little bitter in that first bite. But when you drink a whole can of Pepsi, it's almost too much sweet. It's just too syrupy. And Coke,
I don't know that most people would consider me too sweet or syrupy. And
so Coke is, the more you drink it, you're like, this is refreshing. This is good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, the person made the comment. They told me, they said, when you and Beth argue about things or y'all bring up a topic, initially I'm all in with Beth, with her. But the more you talk, the more I find myself actually agreeing with you. And so
that's because you just spew nonsense that can't be refuted. See, this is one of the things yes, you do. Because when we argue about something, you cannot reply to and refute illogical, nonsensical arguments. And so that's like, you'll just keep saying stuff louder or whatever, overbearing. And I'm just like, whatever, because like you can't argue with nonsense. So that's
exactly what Pepsi tried to tell Coke.
Okay. Well, anyway, so I would love to know, is this around like flat earth theory that somebody's being convinced by you? Like,
I think anything. They're just like, I listen to the podcast and I'm like, oh, Beth is so right. And then the more we talk and they hear my explanation, they're like, you know what? Mike really has a point here.
Yeah.
I like to think changing minds where you're just gooey. You're corn syrup, Beth.
Yes, I'm high fructose corn syrup, and you're real sugar.
I'm sugar cane.
You're like the Mexican version of Coke, where they use the real sugar.
They don't use that junk. They don't use that fake stuff.
Yeah, that. Are you going so far as am I diet drink now? Am I artificial sweetener?
I think you're fake.
Okay. Good to know.
I think that's what it is. I think that's what the listener was really trying to say.
I just think
is when we hear you guys debate, Beth ultimately comes off as fake and you're real.
Okay, this is difficult for me to respond to because I didn't get to talk to this listener, number one. Number two, I would love to have some concrete examples because it's difficult. Like in the universe of all the things that I don't remember, like because again, I don't go back and listen to these podcasts, I would have to better understand which debates were we having that I came across as sweet at first, but then too sweet or fake at the end. I would have to know that.
I mean, it's just that the more people drank in my opinion, the more they were like, you know what? Mike is refreshing. His point of view, his outlook on life is like a nice cold can of Coca-Cola on a summer day after you finish mowing the yard.
Here's the problem with this. This could be one of those times where this person made one single comment like, hey, every once in a while I do come around to think about your points. And you have taken this and totally ballooned it, like blown it way out of proportion, as you tend to do. So
we haven't done a poll in forever. Maybe I'll just do that. I'll just put it up this week. When you hear Mike and Beth debate a topic, do you find yourself at the end siding with Beth or siding with Mike?
Okay. That's going to be fun.
I mean, there's all kinds. You go back to like Christmas cards.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
There. Killed you on that.
No,
Cats versus dogs. I killed you on that.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that we've done that we've debated and I've just crushed you on at the end.
Is that what you think?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, if you're not, are you going to disclose who this person is so that I can talk to them?
It was said off record.
Well, then how can I ever? But again, this is the kind of stuff you do too. Like, this is like me. Oh, you know what? I had a good talk with a squirrel out there that was on the bird feeder. And that squirrel told me, Beth, I think you are so much better than Mike.
No, and that's ridiculous. If you think squirrels are talking to you, you have more problems than I thought.
But I'm just saying, like, you were there. This is the nonsense you're spewing. I can't go back and fact check. I can't respond to the person. I can't even ask a probing follow-up question because you just come in and you just say it as if it's true, as if it's the law of the land, as if it's authoritative. And it's not, because I get no ability to cross-examine the witness.
You can't cross-examine someone's opinion. If their opinion is, I agree with Beth initially, but then the more I hear your side, I find myself agreeing with you. There's no cross-examination.
Okay.
That's their opinion.
But is their opinion on one topic or every topic we've ever talked about? Number one.
I assumed it was every topic the way they were talking about.
And number two, how on earth did this balloon to, okay, maybe, Mike, you persuade me with your great arguments and your ability to debate? Or is it truly Beth is fake, saccharine, and you are pure sugar? I mean, is it really that? Because also, you've kind of taken this and you ran with that. And so I don't know that is truly what
Why are
the
you getting so
listener.
animated and angry right now?
I don't know, but
You are so fired up
I
about
have
this person's
hand
opinion.
gestures.
If we had it on video, you'd be knocking
my
it with the
hands.
camera.
Well, I talk with my hands. That's one of the
You
things. I
are
have to have a lot of like swinging of the
irate
hands.
right now.
I'm not irate, but I just don't. This is not a debate. Okay, if you come in and you're like, I have this specific fact, but Beth, I can't tell you who said it, the context they said it in, what they were saying it about. I'm just going to put it out there as fact. Then how does a person respond to that?
We'll let the people talk. We're going to put out a poll.
Okay.
When you and I debate a subject,
yeah,
at the end of the subject, who do you find yourself siding with more, Mike or Beth?
Okay.
We're going to let the people talk.
But are you going to do this in general or based on a specific subject that we've debated?
Well, I think it has to be in general. I mean,
okay.
You know.
All right. Well, let's move on. Do we have anything else to talk about today?
Well, I had a busy week.
Okay.
I knocked off another one of my Big 12 this week. I got to experience a sporting event that I had never experienced before, a PGA golf tournament.
Yes.
Now, I've been to so many. I can't even count how many PGA golf tournaments I've been to, but this is the first time I volunteered. And I got to be the standard bearer, which I talked about.
Which I didn't even understand what that was. A standard bearer. That's a very strange, description. But
it's more of a, what do you call it?
He walked around carrying a sign.
I'm not needed. You know, it's like a position that's not needed. It's just more of a throwback to the old days when that's the only way you would know what someone's score was, is somebody walking around holding a manual sign that you would have to change at every hole. That's how people would know. They don't need that anymore. They got phones that update them immediately. They got digital scoreboards everywhere. I'm just there out of history.
Is it because you're the eye candy? You know, like, what is it, boxing with the women that would run around with those signs or whatever? Is that what you are? You're the eye candy of golf?
I should have worn a bikini now that I think about it. That probably would have helped some.
That would have definitely gotten some attention. Yeah.
So, real quick. It was hotter than 7 hells.
Yes.
It was humid. So hot. It was in the 90s every day. Humidity at like 99%.
Yes.
Heat index over 100.
Yeah.
It was brutal.
Yeah.
And all I had to do was walk around with golfers. That was it. So I was in between the ropes. I walked 18 holes on Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And so those were the 3 days I worked. Highlights for me. One was the first day I got to walk with a guy by the name of Aaron Rye. Aaron won the PGA Championship this year. He's Indian descent, but from London. The nicest pro athlete I've ever met in my life.
Yeah, because you said he actually just asked you about you and your family.
Yes. Very polite, very humble, very just an inquisitive dude. Asked me a lot of, he didn't have to do that. He just wanted to walk with me and talk with me. And he was amazing. And then Jacob and his buddies were there. And Aaron and I had built such a relationship after the first 7 holes.
You're best friends.
We're BFFs. Jacob and his buddies were on the 7th green. And I said, hey, do you want to meet Aaron? And he was like, really? I was like, yeah. So I went up to Aaron. I was like, hey, man, my son is here. He's a big fan. Can he say hey to you? Aaron was like, absolutely. I'd love to meet your son. And he walked over, met Jacob and his 2 buddies, took selfies with them. I mean, it was incredible. Absolutely incredible. So a good dude. I worked with another golfer who will remain nameless. That was a lunatic.
Yeah.
That wanted to fist fight the official score on the first hole.
And the official score was how old, probably?
He was retired.
Yeah.
I mean, he was an old man.
Yeah.
And this golfer took exception to where the official score was standing. He thought he was standing, I don't know, in an area that didn't help. And so he went over to tell the guy to move. And then he accused the guy of shaking his head and being disagreeing with him. I mean,
picking a fight with him.
He wanted to fight this dude.
Yeah.
Like a golfer.
Yeah.
He was a lunatic. And the whole rest of the round, he was this guy that, when he was hitting good shots, he was happy. When he hit bad shots, yelling, cussing, throwing stuff. I mean, just
he's like the celebrity that is like, I need the green room with, these color M&Ms and this drink only, and then screams at somebody if they miss one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was not good.
Mhm.
The other golfers were all fine. I
Mhm.
mean, they kept to themselves. I mean, they were there to do a job. You know,
Yeah.
like that. It means something to them. And so, another golfer I got to walk with was Billy Horschel,
Mhm.
who actually won the FedEx Cup a few years ago. Pretty famous golfer now. He's probably he's I don't want to say on the downside of his career, but there's,
Mhm.
he's older compared to some of the other, even though he's only like 39, probably.
Yeah.
He's, there's a lot of 20-some-year-olds now
Yeah.
that are blowing it up. But he was nice, and I liked it. He was passionate. He was a
Mhm.
lunatic also, but in a fun way.
Yeah.
Like you could tell he was just passionate and fired up. He wasn't
Mean.
demeaning. He wasn't mean.
Yeah.
He would yell at himself when he hit a bad
Yeah.
shot. But the guy he was playing with, when that guy would hit a good shot, he would just yell out across the fairway, "Hey, Chad, great shot, buddy." Like,
Yeah.
he's just a vocal dude.
Mhm.
And I really liked Billy. But Aaron was unbelievable. So I got to do the golf tournament.
Mhm.
So we did that. Saturday was a marathon for me because I did the golf tournament, got to the golf course around 10:30 or 11. I was there until 5:30, and that's when my round ended. I jumped in the car, drove 40 minutes to Walnut Cove, your old stomping grounds,
Yeah.
and did another show with Taylor Vaden at the Palmetto.
Except this time Taylor was Elvis.
Taylor was Elvis.
He did Elvis music.
And did unbelievable.
Costumes, yeah.
Yes, he did
Mhm.
costume changes. He was awesome. The
Yeah.
crowd loved it. How did you enjoy it, Beth? Did you enjoy that show?
Oh, it was fabulous. I wasn't there.
Yeah,
I can't
thanks a
go.
lot.
Okay, this is the other
I even
thing.
had you a free ticket and you didn't even go.
Okay.
What did you do that night?
Hung out with Maria.
Oh, God.
So
You didn't hang out with Maria. You did nothing with Maria.
Okay, I'm just saying, like, I cannot go to every show that you do. Like, that is impossible. And it's
Leanne was there
unrealistic.
supporting Taylor.
But that doesn't mean I bet there have been shows that she wasn't at, so it's okay. I can't go to all your stuff.
There's been a lot of shows you hadn't been at recently.
Anyway, this is your thing.
You
this is
only
not
go, you know what I just
my thing.
realized?
I am not a comedian.
You go when there's like free food involved.
Yeah.
You went to the stadium show
Yes.
because you got free food.
Yes.
You went to the dog show because you got free food.
Yeah.
There was nothing free here for you except a seat.
Oh, we never got to talk about that, did we?
What's that?
The Friends of
I did last week
Oh.
if you listened to the podcast.
Oh, okay. Well, I just wanted to say that was a lot of fun and really well done and really cool. And it was just really neat seeing what they do and seeing what they put together. It was just a really fun event.
It was.
It was, yeah.
But I will say this is a peek into my self-conscious mind. I used to be really bad about this. I'd go home every Sunday and beat myself up over my sermon.
Mhm.
I probably messed this up. I probably messed this up. The next Sunday, if somebody wasn't back, I would take it personal. Like,
Yeah.
oh, what did I do to make them not want to come to church
Yeah.
this Sunday? I've 99% got over all that.
Mhm.
But I did find myself as Friends of Stoke Shelter was putting out thank yous and putting out pictures and things. They never mentioned me once.
Well, they did have a cool sign.
They
of
had
you
a cool
there,
sign
though.
before. So then
Yeah.
the self-conscious was, did they not think I was
Oh,
funny?
Right.
Like,
yeah.
was I not what they wanted?
Yeah.
Was I not worth it to them to come there and do that?
Mhm.
Because I never heard anything
Yeah.
after the show. So I don't know. So it's like, you leave and you're like, I don't
You
even
just
know.
don't know.
You don't know. So
Well, and I think the
that's
problem
eating
with
at the
any
back
of-
of my brain.
The problem with any of this stuff too is like, because like when I've spoken at church or done different things, also if you ask people, you never really know, are they being honest with this or not? And you second guess things. It's hard, but that's why it's hard to put yourself out there, I think, and do stuff like that, because
It is.
you do get in your head about everything. And the other thing in human nature, it's like I know one time I had this 360 evaluation done at work, and it's like people comment on things, and I could have had 99 comments about what a great attorney I was, but then there's one comment that says something negative, and it's like, not only does it cancel out the other 99, but that one comment is the only thing I obsess over. It's like this whole thing where like we're like Velcro for negative comments and thoughts, but
Or we create, because
Teflon
that's
for
what I'm
the
doing. I'm creating negative thoughts that may not
don't
even be there.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
care about dogs. They don't care
Yeah.
about me.
Yeah,
But in my
exactly.
mind, I'm like, just give me some affirmation.
Yeah,
Just say,
yeah.
hey, you were funny enough.
Because then you like you do second guess. It's just so strange how we as humans, though, we just fixate on either the negative thing that happened or to your point, the negative thing that we create in our mind.
Yeah. And then I think, am I not funny?
Right.
Yeah. But so I had the show Saturday night. I made it there on time. I was a little worried I wouldn't get there on time, but I did. We had a great show. It was a great turnout. Good feedback. It was fine. And now I have a show coming up. This podcast is coming out on Tuesday. I have a podcast Wednesday at Flatiron in Greensboro.
But before you say that, but do tell the cool thing about, I know you were worried about that other one, but the people who came and saw you at the baseball stadium.
Oh, yeah. There was people who
showed up
that were there.
At the Walnut Cove.
At the Walnut Cove, and they had saw me at the baseball stadium and then came and got tickets to this one.
Yeah, so that
was
cool.
I felt bad because I did some of the same jokes, and I was like, I'm sorry I overlapped some, but I guess you have to.
Well, you didn't know you had groupies.
I didn't know I had
Essentially,
groupies.
I mean, if they start really following you around, that's going to be really cool.
Yeah. And I do try to do new jokes, and I did a few new jokes. Yeah. Some went well, some did not.
Yeah.
So now I have a show. Wednesday.
I won't be at that either because we have a women's ministry planning meeting that I had already volunteered to do before that. But anyway.
And they're giving us free drinks, Beth. Free beer.
I hate to miss that. Anyway.
I don't know if they are or not. But,
I was going to say, I don't think that this event would be giving you free stuff, but whatever. Okay.
And then Friday night, I have a private event at a church.
Yeah.
A large church is doing like a men's event, and they're having Taylor and I come and do the entertainment for it.
Hopefully that'll be fun.
Yeah. So I have 3 shows in 7 days, which will be the most I've done in a week.
Yeah. Busy.
Busy. And then I don't have any more until the middle of September.
Yeah.
So if you want me to come do something, I can. If anybody's listening, if they want me just to come stand in your living room and do a bit. I'm free. I'm totally
free. He does birthday parties, definitely kids' parties.
Yeah. I mean, I'm free
I don't
from
think your humor would
August
translate.
15th to September 17th. I am free. So
There
I'm
you go.
available for a month.
Yeah.
So we just booked our first out-of-state gig. We're going to be going to Oklahoma in November.
That's exciting.
Yeah, we had a church out there that's wanting to do a fundraiser for doing a food pantry, and they're going to have us come out and do comedy and speak at their church the next day, and so that'll be fun.
That's the thing I want to do for our Clothing Closet Food Pantry, the Hope Center. I want to come up with an event, a bigger event, and I don't know what it will be, but I want to have something that we can use as a bigger fundraiser like that. So once you get like a solid set of groupies following you around, so that we can definitely guarantee we're going to sell out the place. I think we need to do something like that. But I want us to have a fundraiser like that because I was inspired when we went to the event that the animals that Stokes County Friends of Stokes show. What is it? FOS. They did. It was like, I mean, I don't know how much money they made, but it was well done and it was fun. But I mean, I'm sure they, did a lot with that one event. And so I would love to do something like that.
It made a lot of money that night. Yeah.
But I don't know. My thing is I'm not an event planner. So I've got to figure out like, where would you do it? And what would we do? And what would our special thing be? I don't know all of that yet. But anyway.
Well, you got some time to work on it.
Things to dream about and to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had, on the 100th episode, we did questions from the audience. I had one question come in late. I'll go ahead and say who it was. It was an old friend of mine, Jason Davis.
Oh, okay.
Jason Davis, president
I didn't know. Does he listen to this? Keep going.
D&D Enterprises. So
Dungeons and Dragons Enterprises.
That's it. I guess president is his title. I don't know. He's CFO,
President,
CEO.
CFO, CEO. Let's just give him a lot of C and then letters.
Like, I'm going to give Jason a lot of credit. His dad owned this little machine shop, and it was just this little thing across the street from his house that he grew up in. And Jason has taken this thing and blew it up into like this international type manufacturing thing. And so Jason's done really well with his dad's business, and Jason now runs it, and he's killing it.
That's really cool.
He has his own podcast, his own videos he's putting out now. But he listens to the pod. And
I didn't know that. Should we listen to his podcast? Will I understand it?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really well done.
Yeah.
But I don't understand it.
We could probably learn some things from him just on how to do a good podcast, though.
Maybe. I think he's learning from us.
Oh, I'm sure.
What not to do.
Yes, exactly. Whatever they do, do the opposite.
But Jason messaged me and said he loved the 100th episode and was like, I wanted to write in and give you guys a question of tell the story of how y'all met, or tell the story of that time we met Beth.
Is this self-interested because he was there?
Yes. And that's what's funny is outside of me, Jason was the first person that ever met Beth.
He was.
He was it. So I'll tell a story super quick.
Okay.
And you can interject wherever you feel like.
Okay.
So Beth and I had met summer of 96. We were both interning in Winston-Salem at the time. We met.
I was at Wake in an inorganic chemistry lab, and you were at Calvary
Baptist as a children's ministry intern.
As an aside, I do want to say one thing. This is when Mike has a joke set. You have to come to hear it. But he talks about a roommate that said something about him, and this is when I lived with her.
Yeah.
That's a key fact, pulling us back, a callback.
I do have a bit about that.
Yeah, keep going.
And then we kind of lost touch, and you moved back home, and then you moved back to Salem College.
Because we didn't have social media and everything then, so if you didn't, have somebody's you couldn't just, go Google them and find people again. Yeah.
And so... Anyway, I moved back home, and that was life. I had aspirations at one point of being a professional wrestler.
Yeah.
That was my dream.
Yeah.
And so there was a professional wrestling school in Winston at that time. There still is, but I think it was a different school at that point. This would have been 96. And Jason talked me into wanting to go to one of the classes and just observe. So I was like, all right, if you go with me, we're going to go watch these classes, and then I'm going to decide if I want to do this or not. So we jumped in the car. It was a Monday night. I think it was a Monday. We drove to Winston-Salem. We were going to go to this wrestling school and just sit and observe. I'd even called the teacher, the coach or whatever. He's like, yeah, come on out, watch one of the practices, see if it's something you're interested in. And so that was why I went to Winston, was to go to this professional wrestling school. Where as we're driving from Greensboro to Winston, Jason starts asking me about you. And he's like, whatever happened to that girl you met this summer? Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I don't know, maybe we lost touch. I said, she goes to an all-girls college, in Winston.
A women's college.
Well,
anyway, keep going.
I know, but this is a couple of just 22-year-old dudes.
Yes,
we don't know
you
any
don't
better.
know any better. Okay.
So we're saying it's an all-girls school.
Yeah.
And so Jason's like, well, we got to go there. And I think in our minds, we just imagine all y'all are running around in
bikinis or something.
Yeah, bikinis during the day.
Hoping some guys will just stop by and rescue us from our boredom. Yeah.
We grew up on Porky's and Animal House movies. I mean, that's what we envision, just kind of what a crazy stuff. And so I was like, I don't even know how to get to Salem College. And so we literally drove into Winston and we just happened to be driving down this highway.
There was no Google map for all those young people who don't know what it was like to not know how to get places.
And we saw this random sign that said Salem College. This exit.
Yeah.
So we got off on that exit and just followed the signs and drove and ended up at Salem College. To this day, it was totally divine intervention that we even got there.
And what month was this? This is right when I started back my senior year.
It was September.
Yeah, we haven't been back long in college. Yeah.
September of 96.
Yeah.
And so then I'm like, okay, well, now we're here at this college. How am I even going to find her?
Yeah.
And so we park, and by this time it's it's late. I want to say it's almost dark, if not dark already. We get out of the car, and here comes this girl walking down the sidewalk. And I'm like, I'll just ask her if she knows Beth Mabe. And so I walk up, and I'm like, hey, do you happen to know Beth Mabe? Because what's the chance that she would know Beth Mabe at this college? She said, absolutely, I know Beth Mabe. Because I didn't know that you had just ran and won student body president.
Yes.
So everybody
SGA
knew
president.
Beth Mabe.
Yes.
And I was like, do you know where she lives? And she was like, absolutely, come with me. She just took these two random guys to your dorm.
Serial killers. Here are these guys.
Things were different 30 years ago.
They were. Gosh, yes,
there was no security on campus.
Yeah.
This girl is just taking random guys.
She's like, sure, yeah.
So she took us into the lobby.
I was living in Cluel.
I had to buzz you, and
Yep.
I was like, "Hey, this is Mike," and you're like, "What?" And you came down, and you were so excited to see us, and then you wanted to give us a tour of the whole campus, and you walked us all over that campus and showed us all the stuff, like you were a admissions counselor.
Yes, maybe I missed my calling. I should have been. Yeah.
Yeah, and Jason kept asking for where the girls' showers were. I don't know why. Like, is there like a gym? Is there showers?
Yeah. Where are all the single ladies that are just sitting around waiting for me to show up? You know,
so that's where it started.
Yeah,
that's what happened. So Jason Davis was part of this. Like, he encouraged me to go track you down.
Yeah. And the other thing that's so crazy about this is the reason we kind of stopped talking and lost touch was like in large part due to my stubbornness, I think. But what had happened was I was living at Wake. So when we talk about, you didn't know my home number and you didn't know my Salem phone number because back then too, you might get a phone number in your dorm room or whatever, and like you were living with a family that was hosting you. So I had, I think, that phone number, or maybe you were at I don't know, I might have had your home number. I can't remember. But you only had my Wake Forest dorm phone number. That's all you had. And I called you one night, and I think it was literally the night before I was moving out. Like I had a big presentation and stuff the next day, and then I was moving out. And I would move back to Danbury for like a few days and then be moving to Salem. And you were like, hey, somebody's here. We're doing something. Let me call you back. Well, I was like, okay. So I have this big presentation I'm working on. I go and I do that. Well, to my knowledge, you never call me back. And I was just like, well, fine. If he doesn't want to call me back, I'll just never talk to him again. So I just moved. I mean, I never called you back. I thought that you had totally blown me off, and I was so stubborn.
Spoken like a true Pepsi.
But
all sweet at first, and then it's just like, Argh.
Well, no, I just think that is like a certain amount of self-respect. I was like, I'm not going to grovel by calling you a second time. Like, I called you once. If you want to talk to me, you would call me back. Well, I didn't know that. I think you had called me back, but my roommate didn't tell me. I didn't know that. But so anyway, and in the interim, because when I'd met you, you were in a knee brace. So not only had you called me back and she didn't tell me, but then you had knee surgery and things. So you had some probably, I guess, legitimate reasons for not chasing me down and find me. But I didn't know that. So I was very put off.
I think the only number I had for you was at that dorm that you were staying at.
It was. But I was just very put off because I didn't think you called me back. Yeah. So we almost, but I think about that sometimes, like, how one little thing, like someone not telling me that you had called back and my stubborn, we could have never, if Jason hadn't intervened, we would have never talked again, ever. Because I wouldn't have, at that point, I think like a month had passed or something. And I was like, well, all of August had gone by, so I wouldn't have sought you out, So it's just, if you hadn't taken that chance.
It was a real butterfly effect.
It really was.
We're driving to Winston to go to wrestling school. And Jason's like,
let's go to
wrestling school will be there next week. Let's go find that girl. And that one flap of the wings.
Set everything
else into motion.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And now we're here in this podcast 102 episodes later.
And who would have thought that we came from such humble beginnings?
Yeah. So there you go.
Who would have thought that we would have been stubborn and this early in our relationship had a misunderstanding that could have caused this? Who would have ever predicted that based on who we are now? No one, I'm sure.
No.
Yeah.
All right. So we had another listener, Matt, who made a suggestion when we were doing the questions about, hey, I'd like to hear, like, what would you change in your 4 pillars? Remember, I think I told you that.
Like change about each.
Marriage, family, careers, and ministry. Like, what would you change about each other? I kind of want to take that idea and tweak it a little bit. Because that could get into, I don't know how helpful it would be to be like, hey, Beth, I wish you would have changed this in our marriage.
Or I'd be like, Mike, I wish you wouldn't swish your drink in your mouth or instigate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish you didn't yell at me so much. There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll swish, you stop yelling.
Yeah. Okay. Every time. So we'll just reverse. I'll just go around and swish all the time and you can yell.
That's fine. I have no problem with swishes. But I thought what we could do is we're going to stretch this out over a course of like 4 weeks. And maybe not what I would change about you or you change about me, but what is something you would change? Like looking back now, we've been married 28 years.
What we know now.
Like we'll say in marriage, we'll do that one first. And we'll let this be kind of the end of the pod, so to speak, as far as topics go. Looking back at, since we just talked about meeting, 1996, and then we were married in 1998. We've been married 28 years. What is one thing, looking back now, that you would change in your mind as a spouse that would have made it easier in marriage? What's the one thing?
Well, I've kind of got two, but they're sort of but the one thing is, I don't know. It's hard. The reason questions like this are hard is because
you want me to go first and then you can think about it?
Well, no, but it's like if you read those books where you change one thing and you think that it makes it better, but it may not. But one of the things is, we meet all these married couples now that would do things like, oh, well, we just took the day off work and went to Carowinds or something. I was in law school. Before I was in law school, I was working in a biochemistry lab at Wake Forest School of Medicine, and then I went to law school. And for people who don't know, law school is intense. It is a lot of studying, and I was very ambitious and very determined to do well.
As Ted Lasso says, you were a wigwam and a teepee.
What was that?
2 tenths.
2 tenths.
You were 2 tenths.
Yes, yeah. But so I hear about these people who just before they had kids or before things happened, we also didn't have any money though, but they would just be like, we just spontaneously do this. And we didn't. And I wish in a way that we had, but then at the same time, I'm like, but if I had done that, would I have done as well in law school? And then would I have gotten the clerkship and the jobs that that's the one thing you just don't know, because it's like, well, if I'd have just been wish I hadn't been so ambitious and worked so hard, maybe it wouldn't have set us up for kind of what we have now or whatever. But the other thing I think is, especially in the early days, I did what we see a lot of couples doing. I didn't communicate. So even though I was in some therapy and stuff from time to time then, I thought I was very self-aware, but I wasn't self-aware to really see past all the things that I was just doing on impulse or reacting, as opposed to stepping back and being what am I contributing to this? So it was just really easy, I think, early in the marriage to, if I were upset about something, to feel like the victim or to internalize it or to just push it down, until I got really angry. I just didn't handle, I think, clear communication of what I needed in a healthy way back then. But part of that too, I guess you got to give yourself some grace. How many early 20-year-olds know how to do all that? I don't know. But I think those are kind of the things I think about.
Communicating your needs.
Yes,
I need this from you.
Yeah, Mike, instead of just getting mad or resentful or feeling sorry for myself about something, did I clearly communicate that? If I were feeling, resentful or left out or you hadn't done that, I don't know that I did. I think I just carried it around, and my standard approach back then was to just stuff it down. If anybody's seen Book of Mormon, they talk about turn it off like a light switch, but I would just stuff it down and then just eventually get mad enough that I would blow up with my temper. Yes, I had a very bad temper. Yes. And so I would just explode. So I'd be this very calm person, just stuffing it all down, and I'd be fine. And then something would set me off. And so, now I'm I wish I would have communicated more, and then maybe to made room to do more of just that fun stuff during that time instead of being so focused. And it wasn't ambition in a bad way. It was just more I had standards for how I wanted to succeed in law school, but I also wanted to be involved in youth ministry. I also wanted to, the FOMO that I have now, I wanted to do all these things. I had all these standards, and, there wasn't a lot of room to do a lot of extra fun stuff when you're doing all that.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
It's kind of along the same lines is some of communication.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was so insecure about our relationship. I don't know, I guess I felt if I ever disagreed with you or if I ever shared disappointment or whatever, that you would get mad and leave.
Mm-hmm.
It was
I'd just be I'm out of here. How dare you question how I load the dishwasher?
Yeah, that I just felt So I too kept a lot of stuff bottled where I was afraid to have difficult conversations.
Yeah.
And not that you did anything wrong. Sometimes it was me.
Yeah.
Like sometimes, and I needed to admit I was wrong. But I felt I was too insecure to even do that because I was like, well, if I don't admit that I was wrong, maybe she won't know I was wrong. and if she thinks I'm wrong so much, she can be like, I could have done better, and so I think for me, I would say the same thing. If there was one thing I could change in our marriage, especially early on, was communication. Like now I'm probably too confident.
Mm-hmm.
Like now, it's in a fun way, but it's like we can disagree, we can have argument, and it doesn't bother me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't take it personal. Back then I took everything personal, and every little slight was a personal slap at me, or
almost like you were talking about though with the way you were early on in ministry, like somebody didn't come the next Sunday and instead of thinking, oh, I bet they caught the flu, you're like, oh, they hated my sermon and they hate me.
Yeah.
Like you do that. You do a lot of like creating stories and narratives in your own head about the other person's behavior instead of just, I don't know, asking them why they did it.
And my biggest fear is a fear of rejection.
Yeah.
And that is something that I've had to work on my whole life. And like you, through lots of counseling and just maturing and hitting my 50s where I don't care anymore, that's all helped. But I didn't want to get rejected by you. And so I didn't want to, so I was like, I don't want to bring this up. I don't want to do this because I don't want her to be mad at me. It's like, and so when you have a fear of rejection, you become a people pleaser. And so when you become a people pleaser, a lot of times you get resentful because you're not really getting what you want.
Right.
When if I was just honest, if I didn't have that fear of rejection, if I wasn't interested in just pleasing everyone, if I was just honest about my feelings, how I felt, my strengths and my weaknesses, and just being like, if I mess up, apologize or whatever, and not being so insecure that I would lose you or it would permanently damage the marriage or whatever, I think we would have had a healthier marriage early on. But as a lot of 20-year-olds, you're still trying to figure out life and you're very insecure. So I would just say, for me too, it was just communication. It's the ability to be able to communicate your feelings in a healthy way and not hold back.
Well, and I will say, too, kind of going full circle back to the story where I talked about my stubbornness and how I refused to call you back. You talked about your thing with rejection. I was kind of incapable of being vulnerable with people. And I mean, I would be open and honest about some of my struggles, but as far as like truly revealing what I viewed as weaknesses or vulnerability. And so, again, I felt like being a strong, independent woman, I had to kind of just be like, and I don't mean this in a mean way, but like, I can take you or leave you at any time. It was like a protective mechanism.
That's how I felt. Which led to my insecurity is she don't really need me. She doesn't want me.
No, but I mean, what I'm saying is for me though, like reflecting back, it was like, well, if I go tell him like, like I'm feeling neglected or ignored, or like I feel like he didn't listen or he didn't comfort me. To me, being that vulnerable felt needy. Like that felt like that was exposing way too much of myself and putting it out there that like, it was almost like for me, if I displayed that vulnerability, it would be something that you would take advantage of and like hold over me. Like, oh, well, now he has control over me. Does that make sense? So it was more, for me, I think it was, I can't share that because then that takes my strength away. And my strength is what I have. That's like my last thing, kind of my last wall I have to protect me. And so I wouldn't sometimes communicate, I think, what I felt like I needed.
Much like castle walls in Scotland, it's still there. There's remnants of it.
And I think the last thing I'll say is as we talk about wishing we could have been more self-aware, to your point, a lot of the issues that I would get upset with you about, even if I brought them to you, a lot of times it was my issue. It was even early on, even though we know this now, it would have been things that I'm like, man, I really wish he would change this, but it wasn't about you. It was something, it was me, trying to change you or something when really I needed to do my own work, but you reflect it on the other person. And I don't have great examples of exactly how that plays out. But, well, maybe even like, I wish he would communicate with me more. And I'm mad at him for not communicating. But then I'm not communicating with you. So maybe if I'd worked on my communication, But those are, again, I think life skills you just don't cultivate until you've lived some life. And that part's hard to like
It's
to
a miracle
do.
we made it 28
It
years.
is.
Now
There
we
were
talk
some
about it
people
like
who
this.
thought we wouldn't.
Yeah, I'm sure.
There were some people who definitely were. Because remember, you worked with somebody and you like told them I was going to law school and you were going to be a pastor or youth minister or something. And they're like, ugh, you won't last. Remember, they
Yeah, I
said like
can't
you won't
remember.
last like 5 years or 3 years, right? Because they were like, pastors and lawyers always divorce or something. We weren't even married yet, and they told you, and they didn't even know me. Like it wasn't even like they had met me to be like, oh, that woman, she's a piece of work. It was totally based on the career paths we had chosen. That they were just like speaking that essentially death into the relationship. Like you're not going to make it. So we stayed together to prove them wrong.
I'll do anything out of spite. Right now, I'm planning on going back to the gym
I
out
was
of
just going
spite.
to say, this is just what you're doing to Josh. So super quick, Jacob and Josh have been working out. And so there's a gym in town. And when I went, I had to go sign up Josh because he's a minor. And so when I went to sign them up, they were like, well, it's only like, was it $10 more? I think it was $10 more a month for this family membership, which would mean that you could come too, Mike. So I was like, I'm like looking, I'm like, Jacob, do you think your dad will come? And Jacob's like, yeah, he's been saying he wants to come. And Josh is like, Dad is not going to come. Dad is not going to do this. He's not going to work out. Like he was just like, don't waste your
Josh
$10.
has no faith in me.
Don't waste your $10 because Dad's not going to come to the gym. Yeah, that's what. And you were like, fine, Josh, I'll show you.
Yeah, Josh was honest with me about it. Josh is good about communicating. He holds nothing back. He's like, you ain't going to go, Dad. I was like, I'm going just out of spite.
Yeah, Josh is not the people pleaser in the sense of he's like, oh, I'm really worried I'm going to hurt my dad's feelings by telling him that I have no faith and confidence that he'll do this. Yeah. So, now you're like, you'll show him, but you haven't shown him yet because you haven't been yet. But
to be fair, I hadn't been at home to be able to.
Yeah. So anyway, but because you've been at your golf thing, which should count, walking all those miles every day.
Yeah, I have blisters that show.
Are your calves okay?
My calves held up all right. It was more of my lower back. I think I need to go to the chiropractor. And
get some Brooks, because we talked about the shoes. That's something our listeners can
I've got
tell us is
blisters
your
on my
favorite
feet.
walking shoes. Because you were asking me, and I know people love Brooks, and I use Saucony running shoes, but I do have a pair of Brooks right now, and I like them. But every podiatrist I've ever talked to seemed to love Brooks. But you've also liked New Balance because you have a super wide foot. A Fred Flintstone foot.
I do. My foot's as wide as it is long.
It's like wider than Fred Flintstone's feet.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's like a brick. It's just a cinder block.
Anyway, sorry.
Get that image in your head.
Yeah. If we were on camera, I'd get you to hold your foot up and show everybody, but we won't.
And they can see all the blisters on my feet from walking.
The sacrifices you made as
all
a
those
volunteer.
miles. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, next week we will tackle what's one thing you would change about being a parent.
Oh, boy. I have
You have a lot,
about
Beth.
a million.
Well, you got to come up with
those.
one. Just one.
Oh, I spend a lot of time in therapy talking about the mistakes I made as a parent. A lot.
Well, there you go. So
I don't know how I'll narrow it down. We could take the whole hour.
yeah.
Yeah.
So if y'all are enjoying these conversations, you can thank Matt, our friend Matt. But if you hate him, blame Matt.
Yeah. And the same thing for the story of our origin story.
Our
it's not a villain origin story. Our love origin story.
Yeah, blame Jason Davis.
Yeah.
And if
he's the reason this podcast exists.
If you're angry about, don't say that, because then he's going to want some kind of cut if we start making money out of it.
That's a good point.
He does not. He had nothing else to do with it.
Yeah.
He didn't even come to our wedding.
Oh,
I'm still bitter about that.
Oh, poor Jason.
I say that, but then we're having lunch Friday. So. I hope he doesn't listen to this before lunch.
It's going to be a tense lunch. Yeah. Can't wait to hear how that goes. Want to be a fly on the wall for it. Yeah. And meanwhile, we were hoping he'd sponsor our podcast and we could invite him on and he could invite us on his. I don't think that'll be happening.
I don't know what I could share about his machine shop.
I don't know. I think I could learn something, or I could ask some good questions, some good probing questions. Yeah. Just throwing that out there, Jason. I'll do a little research and then I can come in and use my investigative skills to ask some good questions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're good at that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. Well, this has been another stellar episode of the Hey, Are You Still There podcast. Until next week, this is
Mike and Beth. Oh, Beth.
That's fine. You can sign off for both of us.
This is Mike and Beth.
And this has been Hey, Are You Still There?